Hello, hello. It's Pigsy, another vid. Chat, go nice and slow. Weather's shit as well, so you have to bear with me. In the previous video I asked about the why do they ring the bells? Dodgy drivers, what happens when you get bad weather? Why do they ring the bells? Opening at Pangbourne at 9 PM, and they do bell ringing practice. I got told, well maybe they do, who knows. I think it's probably a good way to keep fit, but they do it for about half an hour. They do it in bursts of like 20 minutes almost, so and there can't be a lot. There can't be a lot to it. Maybe there is. There's a lot to how you jump and the position of your body and not overstraining or overusing your arm strength. Or it's conditioning. Now, like I said, conditioning to ring bells. Maybe they didn't require that. You know, maybe they require a special conditioning for bell ringing. So yeah, who knows. Anyway, just a few thoughts of the day, really. I saw a brilliant video. It's had now I've started doing experiments with plants, looking at plants and different plants that you can use for medicinal, spiritual uses. I'm not really into sort of any sort of party drugs and that lot. I mean, sure, I like a bit of a drink every now and then, but it's getting less and less the older I get, to be honest. Yeah, I can't remember ever been. It probably would take a lot for me to get tipsy, but I never seem to drink to get drunk anymore. Just a pint or two with the like going out for a meal, and that's it really. That's my lot. But anyway, so recently started looking at different sort of what we classify different herbal type thing, drugs and whatever. Drugs is probably something that's been refined, so you could be classified. So a tanker pulled over to one side. Yeah, basically it's a plant medicines, and it's quite interesting the stuff I come across. They talked about shamans, and what was mentioned was that these plants have spirits to them as well. So people have taken gone on a certain trip and been aware that there's been other things in the room with them and associated with plants. It's also, I wondered to myself, what would these things look like if you sort of, you know, suddenly the veil was lifted and almost like someone switched the lights on, and suddenly you could, or imagine that if you got up in the middle of the night, you thought, there's something in the room with me. There's some people on the round ball in the middle of the rain. It makes a lot of sense. So yeah, what would they look like if you switch? Say you heard something and you switch the light on, and there you are with some beings that are plant based. So that would be quite interesting. I imagine it would look like something. I think there's a show called Space 1999, and there was these things that used to feed off radiation, and they had all these like tendril things. It looked like somebody with some sort of sniper camouflage on, basically wandering around. And they put everyone into a sort of daze or a dream. Now that's quite interesting actually, if you think about it, because I'm just sort of, maybe it's someone's deeper conscious reaching out, so he's projecting these beings that are that look like plants, and they have the capacity to cause euphoria and people to go into these kind of like coma type trances, and the idea is as long as they stay under, they can take over and win. So it's very sort of weird. It might be kind of touching on that reality of what someone's projected of drugs anyway, their understanding of like there's other beings or other things out there. I think it's stopped raining, to be honest. start raining again. So yeah, so that's just something interesting. What would these things look like? Now the other thing as well, I mean, I've got these new plants that are in my they're in my flat basically, and I sometimes just sort of touch them and feel their energy and stuff like that. And that's kind of a bit more of a kind of, I don't know, a type of, I was just thinking of what it might, a botanical path or something, or a herbal path. Somebody can communicate with plants in a telepathic way, a bit like poison ivy or something like that. It's kind of picking up vibrations. Yeah, I mean, definitely plants send out distress signals. If you ever see what happens when you've got bees in your garden, and what bees are left, and you see how they respond when somebody starts hacking up plants. So if I'm doing a bit of gardening, they start hanging around, find out what's going on, and follow you about a bit, because they realise, you know, it's the plant. Maybe the plant's sending out some sort of signal, or it's they can pick up the smell of it. Definitely, I think it's to do with the signal. They said it was. They said a bee uses harmonics to fly. It doesn't use our understanding of aerodynamics. So yeah, so that's interesting that they just use different sort of frequency-based stuff to do that. It's like dragonflies as well. They do sort of. It might be a case of the combination of using the both of their wings, but you put a hell of a lot of stress if you're creating sort of two forces that would repel each other as a kind of uplift method of uplift. Yeah, and I think they're just too fragile. The structure of the wings, they just get wrecked. But they are possibly got almost, as was mentioned, they might have some subatomic elements. I mean, if something has these kind of abilities, it does suggest that it's not a sort of one-dimensional creature. It's got another dimension to it. Coming back to plant-based things, so I've touched these plants, and I've sort of, because I mean, basically my journey started with plants. It's I had an experience a long time ago with absinthe. Absinthe and this wormwood in it. I didn't realise about it at the time. I drank too much, got heavily drunk, and so this was quite a while back, over 10 years ago, and it floored me basically. I collapsed in some disabled toilet because I went to a nightclub, and basically I drank a pint or something of it before I left, and I was rushed into it because my brother was saying, "Oh, we've got to go, the taxi's here." So I downed this pint of absinthe, and it basically just basically took a while to hit, but then it just took me out completely. It just lost sort of motor functions and all sorts in my body. So usually the telltale signs that you get numb in places in your body. I can feel my lips, sensation of my my hands, coordination started to go. Walking, I started to feel a bit strange, and it got to the point where I just sort of, like I say, I just what you call, I purged. I just went to the toilet, was really violently sick, and then it just took so much out of me. I just collapsed on the ground, and my brother didn't know where I was, and they went off to some other club. They just went missing. And I just took a tour of my town, walking around doing stuff, before I turned up like 4 in the morning or something, or 4 or 5 in the morning back at my parents', and then I collapsed and slept, and I started having these really, I had a really deep, vivid dream, and it went on for a few days. I can't recall all the other dreams. The last dream was really powerful. We had like this wolf that basically took me out of a pine forest, and that was sort of, it was like the spirit guide had stepped in there and said, "Look, I'm gonna, basically this part of your journey's over now," and so that was allowed me to come out of it. quite a meaningful spiritual experience. So I've journeyed a little bit off the thing. That was just what got me sort of interested in that, and having that for 5 days. These sort of experiences are quite mind-changing, mind-blowing. So there we go. So yeah, that was sort of was a big thing, and then got recently with the kind of plants and so on. It's been quite an interesting experience as well. So, I think pull over before I go into where I live. I'm chatting loads of stuff in my car park. I don't want to. It's just it might not be right. People are a bit weird, a bit like when I hear things that don't make sense to them. There we go. So I just stop. So just stop the engine for a sec. Yeah, so not really seeing anything great there, right? So, but basically, yeah, it was just interesting experience. So yeah. So just kind of my own thoughts is that what I've heard mentioned about these greys, and they're meant to be like plasma based. But what happens if they were this sort of control structure? And they're kind of like this box in this matrix. They all play out a role. What they are. They're like entities that can possess plants. You know, maybe at a sort of base level, but we're all sort of we're all equal in that sort of form. But when we take on certain avatars, we gain some abilities, I guess. And when we pass over, we take these take on with us. So who knows? It's going to be a bit of a mystery. Definitely make me think more about spirits and also people's experience that have gone on certain types of trips. They've mentioned things like basically they feel connected to everything. Everything is living as well. That mentioned, or everything's like a spirit. So there's a kind of deeper intelligence. It would explain why this idea of a hive mind for certain beings, because they are in essence part of each other, really. Sort of all interconnected. So yeah, that would explain. And that we're still connected to this deeper conscious, that we're all connected, that some aspect of us they all share as well. But they're more aware of it, more in control of it. Even some of these crypto type things. Yeah, that little thing that's flashing now. And it's right now, it's nothing to do, sort of very strange. When you see them on the camera, there's quite a few of these little round things really do. Not just like the lights, I never read it. It just looks very strange on the I can't see the lights on the camera, just see the rainbow. Refracted specks. They reappear and then they vanish. Very interesting. So yeah, maybe they're orbs. So anyway, this is Pink sign off. I hope it's interesting. To do a bit more research. There's lots of research into stuff like cannabis. There was something to do because I don't tend to use these things. But I'm quite interested in research for the medicinal. I saw this YouTube video and there was a way to actually get high. Cannabis coconut in it. Coconut milk. So coconut milk, you might try like coconut oil, mango, and the cannabis, but cannabis before it's even properly matured. And it got this guy absolutely wasted. Well, he said he was high for about 8 hours. It's not really what I'm trying to aim to achieve, but it's also understanding if there's a way to actually do something that normally you can't achieve, because your body breaks down drugs with enzymes and so on, and by doing so, it has no effect whatsoever. So like ayahuasca, that's why you need to have certain things that block other chemicals in your body that to stop it, inhibitors basically. But there might be a way around this with this coconut and so on. I have to look at that, because they're basically alkaloid based, these type of chemical chains. So there may be another way around it, and if there is, there might be another way around it there, so you don't have to puke your guts out. I mean, sure, you have the ayahuasca experience if that's what you want to do, but I'm sure people, and also you can use less to achieve the results, get all the medicinal benefits. No, I mean, I don't smoke, so I don't want to smoke things to try to achieve results and not fully understand it. You know, that's just the way it is. So anyways, pigs it sign off.